Greetings. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, Bay Trippers. Bay Lady here, uh, bringing to you your favorite lunchtime trivia show, Beatles Significa. Beatles Significa. Where does that name come from? Well, simply, it comes from this 1980 card game called Beatles Significa. Okay, it is 832 questions relating to the Beatles, only the Beatles as a whole, from beginning of the Beatles till the end of the Beatles. So, this is what I use mostly for these trivia sessions. I know I haven't gone through probably half of them. So every now and then I may pop in one of these. If I see them, I'll pick them up here and there in bookstores or Amazon or whatever. But okay, so let me get the housekeeping out of the way here. Day lady, my name's Sharon Schultz. And you must know that all of my tours, all of the Bay Lady programs are entirely funded by tips. So, if you can and you would like to contribute, the place to go would be buymeacoffee.com. That's all run together, lowercase letters, buymeacoffee.com / and I'll spell the next part ANAMCARA 50X ANAMCARA 50X. You can find this information on my social media. You'll find it on Facebook. I have the Bay Lady page on Facebook, and on YouTube, I have a channel, Sharon Schultz, the Bay Lady. So they have my contact info and all of that good stuff. Before I start with trivia, just a couple things that I wanted to mention. Hang on one second here. Alexa, increase volume. Okay, I think you can hear that, hopefully. I want to hold your hand. What Alexa is playing for me is the brand new brand new Beatles release. Yeah, how does that happen, 30 years later or whatever it is, but 50 years, I don't know. Anyway, this is called Beatles 64, and it's on Disney, on the cable channel Disney Plus. And it's a documentary of the early the Beatles in 1964 when they were, first introduced and all of that. And there are some recent interviews on it with Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr and a host of other folks that, had contacts back in the day. So they released, like I said, they released it on CD, the album, and then the documentary you can find on the Disney Channel. Now I haven't seen that for sale anywhere. But then again, also on Disney is the Beatles Get Back, the what is it, a 3-part, 6-hour documentary that Disney had exclusively and still do. That hasn't been released either. And then there's a couple more that Disney has. So if you have the Disney Channel, you can find all kinds of old Beatle things. And they've been remastered. So it's even more enjoyable to watch. Also, what you can get, this came out probably last year. This is Paul McCartney, 1964, The Eyes of the Storm. That's the name of it. These are Paul's photos that he took in 1964 when he and the Beatles were, in their heyday, in the very beginning when Beatlemania was alive and well. And it's photos like this. Yeah, they're all it's all black and white, which is an artsy kind of thing. I always thought as a photographer, black and white was more art, has a different feel. But anyway, this book is available from Amazon. Great coffee table book if you know what one of those are. Also, what you hear right now is still Beatles 64, but it's not them singing. Okay. As in the Disney documentary, there are other musicians covering some Beatles tunes on this collection, and that's what you're hearing now. So, at any rate, I'm going to Alexa, turn down volume, please. Okay, let's get ready to play Beatles Significa. I plan to do this lunchtime slot here every Wednesday. Hopefully 1:30 is good for you if you would like to play live. If not, you can catch this later on both YouTube and Facebook Live. I believe they have them available at least for 60 days, maybe longer. I'm really not sure. These cards are fun because they're kind of done like, okay, like on one side is the card for one team, blue, and the other side are the questions for the second team, and red, orange rather. And well, not necessarily team either. It could be like two individuals playing, or it could be a group like this, right? Do I have a big group? No. Do I ever? Probably not. Ho hum, not since the days of hey goo. All right, so today we're working on the blue side because it's easier to see than the orange. Yeah, exactly. It's a cloudy day today. And I really didn't feel like putting on the harsh overhead lights. This is kind of a nice, calm atmosphere here. Okay. The four photos on the Beatles 65 album cover depict the four seasons. What are the Beatles holding in the one for spring? Oh boy. This is a good one. Okay, all right, let me read it again, right? No fair Googling either. The four photos on the cover of the Beatles 65 album depict the four seasons of the year. What are the Beatles holding in the one for spring? I haven't a clue on my own there, no clue. And what's funny, this just answered, that's funny, the first one answered my question. When I was messing with this Beatles 64 stuff, finding it on Disney and then trying to get the music on Amazon and all, I kept wondering, why does this sound so familiar? And then I remembered the Beatles had an album called Beatles 65, except I wasn't sure if it was Beatles 65. I thought, well, maybe it was 64 because they're saying this new one is remastered, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, they're two different albums, and I used to have Beatles 65, and I do distinctly remember the four Beatles. The background color of the cover was like a green, pale green, and the four boys were in the center, and I have no clue what they were carrying. So, if anybody wants to venture a guess and type it into the chat, please feel free. That's always a good thing to do. Anyway, all right. Well, I've chatted long enough on that. So let me read the question again and give you the answer. The four photos of the Beatles 64 album cover depict the four seasons. What are the Beatles holding in the one for spring? And the answer is, drum roll, please, springs. Holding springs. Okay. Okay. All right. I would have never thought how simple was that, right? And who would have ever thought? Not me. Okay. All right. Who plays lead guitar on Get That? Who plays the lead guitar on Get That? Now, lead guitar. Well, that was George usually playing the lead guitar. Oh, I love this song. John would play lead sometimes too. Mostly he was rhythm and Paul was bass. All right, who wants to venture a guess? Nobody? You guys? Okay. All right, well, let's look at the answer then. And see, look at all we're learning. Since we didn't know the answers, we know them now. John. John was playing lead guitar on Get Back. I was going to say that. Normally he's rhythm. I was going to say that though. Oh, on John and Yoko's Life with the Lions album, what tracks respectfully follows Baby's Heartbeat? Okay, let me read that one again. Sounds a little weird. On John and Yoko's Life with the Lions album, what track respectfully follows Baby's Heartbeat? I'm not familiar with that, I don't think. Could that be Sean? His Baby Heartbeat? Yes, no, maybe soon. I like this song too. You really gotta hold on. Okay. All right. Now, the answer is 2 minute silence. What track? 2 minute silence. Now, I may have to listen to this album, but don't think I ever had. To be honest, I loved John till the day he died and beyond. But I didn't care too much for Yoko and the path she led down. What can I say? All right. Anyway, enough of that. Question next. In 1969, let's see, in 1969, the Beatles vied with the ATV Corporation for control of what music publishing company? Now, in 1969, the Beatles vied with the ATV Corporation to gain control of what music publishing company? Are we going to say Apple Corp or Capitol Records? What music are we listening to? There's a few surprises on this album, I have to say. And in the documentary as well. The album follows the documentary or vice versa. I don't know which. Okay. So 1969. What music publishing company where was the Beatles trying to get control of? Oh, wrong. Northern Songs. Wasn't that George's company? Northern Songs? I thought that had something to do with George. Hmm. Well, Northern Songs is the answer. The next question. In the Magical Mystery Tour stripper scene, the Bonzo Dog Doodah oh God, band plays a song called Death Cab for, okay, Magical Mystery Tour, the stripper scene, right? Okay. The Bonzo Dog Buddha Band plays a song called Death Cab for blank. Blank's not the word. We have to find the word. Anybody familiar with Death Camp for or Death Cab for John? Yeah, go on. Death Cab for who? Some of these questions are a little odd, yes? All right, well, we're going to have to go look. Death Cab for Cutie. Yeah, I must have missed that phase. Death Cab for Cutie. Okay, interesting. Oops. Oh, hang on one second. Boy, it's, I don't know about where you are, but we've got cloudy and cold here. Mm. This is Baltimore, Maryland, on the east coast of the U.S. And we've got frigid temperatures and cloudy skies, and the worst is yet to come. We're in for some really cold weather, I understand. So we will see. Mm. Oh, I like the song. But I know. Alexa, increase volume. Here we go. Hopefully it won't drown me out. You can move closer. Okay, all right, next question. In Within You, Without You, people are described who gain the world and lose what? Let me read it again. In Within You, Without You, okay, that's one of George's songs, I believe, used in playing his guitar. Within You, Without You. Okay, people are described in the song who gain the world. The question is, what do they lose? Another stumper for me, boy. I definitely missed the boat on John there for a while. Well, actually, no, I'm wrong here because this isn't about just John and Yoko. These questions have nothing to do with the Beatles after the breakup. I read that to you. I read that to myself times. Okay. All right. So the answer was QG. Okay. All right. Within, without you. Okay. What the people who gain the world lose what? Gain the world, lose what? Their soul. They lose their soul. Okay. Pretty heavy question there. Okay. Next. George is heard playing what sort of guitar, not brand, for the first time on the Can't Buy Me Love single? Okay. George is heard playing what sort of guitar, not a brand, but style, classical versus electric, right? What sort of guitar for the first time on the Can't Buy Me Love single? 45 rocker. Which could that be? What kind of guitar? Maybe it was the sitar, right? When that his new thing was the sitar. Oh, you know what? Yeah, this might have been around the time when they were hanging with the Maharaja and all of that, right? Well, let's find out. How's that? That would be G. Nope, I was wrong. It was an electric 12 string, the 12-string guitar. And George always played lead, so I remember that 12-string guitar. I don't remember when he got it, but I remember watching something where I noticed he was playing it. Anyway, Alexa, turn down music. There we go, just a hair. All right, next question. Beyond the blue horizon, far above the clouds, in the land that no one knows, live 4 or 5. What? The blank. Beyond the blue horizon, far above the clouds, in the land that no one knows, live 4 or 5. What? 4 or 5. What? Hello, Corbin. How's it going? I'll see you. Just popped on there. Okay. Anybody want to guess? Beyond the blue horizon, far above the clouds, in the land that no one knows, live 4 or 5. I keep trying to rhyme this every time I ask the question. I keep trying to make it into a rhyme and thinking that that last word, that blank, then I could figure it out, knowing what it might sound like. But no, not today. All right, give up? Of course you do. The answer is magicians. Magicians. Beyond the blue horizon, far above the clouds, in the land that no one knows, lives 4 or 5 magicians. I guess that's maybe could that be from like a Magical Mystery Tour album, maybe? Driving my car. Okay, next up. I like this song too. Give me money. Money, money. Oh. Hmm. I just got my guitar. I'm going to do that. All right, next. Let's see, how are we doing on time here? Okay. If I stop talking so much, we could probably get another set in. All right. After John is finished singing Cry Baby Cry, Paul sings a seemingly unrelated song fragment. What is the first line? After John is finished singing Cry Baby Cry, cry baby cry, make your mama sigh, you're old enough to know better, cry baby cry. Okay, after he sings that, Paul sings a seemingly unrelated song fragment. What is it? I don't know. I do not know. Unrelated. I like how they used to do that, go back and forth. What do they call that? A medley or something? I think Jackson Brown did one of the best medleys of his hit songs I ever heard. Okay, but we're not talking about him. We're talking about John. Okay, so and Paul. All right, so after John finishes singing Cry Baby Cry, then Paul sings seemingly unrelated song fragment, which is, can you take me back where I came from? Oh my gosh. Can you take me back where I came from? Mama, can you take me back? Can you take me back? Hey, cool. All right, next. On what song can we almost make out the Michael Sammy singers singing Everybody's Got One over and over? Oh my gosh. Okay. On what song can we almost make out the Michael Sammy's singers singing? What a tongue twister. Everybody's got one over and over. The only line they sing. Everybody's got one. I have no clue, but as soon as I hear it, it's like, oh, of course. What else could it have been? Okay, so everybody's got one. Let's find out. Ah, I am the walrus. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, look at that. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got one. Right. Really like whispery in the background. Oh my goodness me. Okay, then. Why did George and his father stay up all night July 20th, 1969? Why did George and his father stay up all night on July 20th, 1969? I know the answer to this one. I know, but I'm not going to tell you yet. But I actually know one. Ooh, I know one. Yes, I do. I know. Okay, so George and his dad, they stayed up all night on July 20th, 1969. What was going on July 20th, 1969 that would make them stay up all night long? Give up? I guess it has to be something pretty special for them to stay up all night long, both George and his father. And it was actually what I know without looking at the answer, and we'll see how well I know and do, that they stayed up to watch the first lunar landing, the first man to walk on the moon. Right? Let's see. Yep, to watch the first men on the moon. Look at that. Very good, me. I do know something, but that's probably the only one. Okay, next question. How does Ringo cheat to win the Magical Mystery Tour marathon race? How does Ringo cheat to win the Magical Mystery Tour marathon race? What did Ringo do to cheat to win the race? That was on the Magical Mystery Tour movie. That's a pretty funny thing. Give up. He divided the bus. Next one. Oh, and with a little help from my friends, Ringo answers, yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. To what question? Okay. And a little help from my friends. One of Ringo's lines goes, yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. To what question? Is it, what do you see when you turn out the lights? No. No, I roam. It is. Would you believe in a love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. Okay. Okay. All right. Um, uh, in what song, in what song do the Beatles make brassy sounds with their mouths while session musicians play saxophones? Oh, brother. Good ending question here. In what song do the Beatles make brassy sounds with their mouths while session musicians play saxophones. We are great. Lady Madonna. Really? Doesn't sound like it goes, does it? Oh well, what can I say? All right, my friends, I think that that was fun. We'll have to do it again next week, same time, same station. Okay, you might want to sign up to follow my YouTube channel, Sharon Schultz, the Bay Lady, and my Facebook page, the Bay Lady. That's where I put all my announcements, post my tours, and all of that. So that way you won't miss any. So until the next time, take care. Goodbye.